What? Yo. Hey.
Ice Eskimos. Selling game to players.
Selling game to players.
Special edition.
Special edition. Where we at?
The one and only Royal Studios. Yes. Well, shout out to Willie Mitchell and all that he represents for music.
Yes,
What he represents for Memphis, the legacy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mitchell.
Shout out.
Yes, sir. Some of that.
And speaking of which, because we're such a musical place,
Run this shit, Carlos.
we have like so many special guests in the house tonight. Like I'm really honored to have my new and old friends here. Like some of the dopest people in the music game are in this room right now. Like for real.
Recognize, they know. Grammy nominated
producers, singers, artists, bass players, keyboardists, vocalists. You know, we got. Okay, we're gonna start this. Damn it, let's do this quickly. Come on up. We're gonna start with my man, the drum god himself, Mr. Daru Jones. This brother here, he's a beast. All I say is you go on Instagram and type in DARUJONES. You're gonna see, man, this dude here is amazing at drums. When I call him a drum god, I mean that. Like this dude is played with what? Pete Rock.
All right.
So give us some of your bio, my guy. Who all of you played the tour?
Shout out to Brother CeeLo's, you know what I'm saying? Having us.
Cosby. Mr. Cosby. My brother.
Some of the people that I worked with, Jack White from the White Stripes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I played on all the solo records.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
Just the SNL a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I just watched it, man. That was amazing.
Wow.
That whole thing was insane.
Appreciate it. So Jack White, like you were saying, Pete Rock has a band called Soul Brothers, and me and Jermaine, we were in that band, and also Mono Neon. Pete Rock is a legendary producer, artist, with Sparrow Monch from New York. We got a band called 13. I'm with that band, and I'm also producer. And Bobby Spark is my good friend, legendary Bobby Spark. You know what I'm saying? I got the call on Sunday while Jermaine Holmes. He said he was flying in from Jersey, and he was like, "Yo, call Bobby right now." I was like, "I don't want to impose, so people put stuff together." I'm like, I'm shy, you know what I'm saying? But I hit up Bobby. I was like, "Yo, Bobby threatened me." I was like, "Get down here," you know what I'm saying? So I came down. And I'm thankful that I have a new Memphis family now.
Yeah,
my brother, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
My brother Carlos embraced me, you know what I'm saying? Salute. And also Bo and the whole community. And you guys, I'm thankful to be a part of
my brother right there.
Memphis family. And we got my brother James, you know what I'm saying?
James Robinson.
That's my brother.
Yeah,
brother from another mother.
Those guys go.
We met back in the day when we was trying to fuck on the same broad. we go way.
Close the door, Isaac. Please close the door.
Way before the wines.
Before the internet.
All that shit.
Somebody somebody else can go. Yeah, Daru Jones.
Daru Jones. Come on, we can bring James on there. Let's bring James in and then we'll get Bobby on there. Come on in, James.
No, my brother first. My brother.
Come on, bro. Come on. We got to represent Memphis now. We did a guest. Now we're doing the home team. Then we're going to do a guest.
Got this. Running this shit.
Yo, are you on the camera? Here. Yo.
Hey, yo.
Since you see your boy, go ahead.
No, hold on. Before we do that, though, I haven't done to go live for my page yet.
Go ahead. Keep going, Carlos. With your
thing.
Okay, well, the next person we're going to introduce is a hometown legend who's now away from Memphis, doing it with some more family that he brought to Memphis, and we're doing it bigger and better. So, next up, James Robinson. Let's give him a hand.
Hey, yo,
James Robinson. Run down some of your resume, man. Let them know what you've done, how you got your resume so strong.
Well, man, I got my start in the music with this guy that's FaceTiming right now.
He's in another world tonight.
I'm trying to get everybody over here, to follow us right now on Ice Eskimos. We're going live right there. We're live right now on Ice Eskimos. They need to be over there on Ice Eskimos. Watching you motherfuckers.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it again?
Ice the motherfucking Eskimos. We didn't put the motherfucking in there, but we should have. But Ice Eskimos over there on Facebook right now. Go check it out, man. Comment, I'm trying to say, let us know what's going on. We got some legends. Got real legends in the building tonight, man. So
free. It's been my big brother in the music game for a long time. He gave me my start professionally back in the day. So when I was young, man,
waiting on that check too. Like I've been waiting on that money, you know.
So I come from a musical family. My sister, she was my hero growing up. Valencia Robinson, she's a singer. And so I came up at a time when we call it the golden era of Memphis. Anybody that's from here knows, you know, those early 2000s, you just had so much talent here, and everybody was doing something. And so, you know, it was Free in Valencia that inspired me the most because
probably me more.
Well, yeah, absolutely. No, seriously, because
that's just his ego talking.
No, because
just
he,
saying.
you know,
Did you notice the sweater? Did you notice the sweater though? You noticed the sweater. The sweater is like
as you were saying, bro. Come on, because we have so many guests. We try to get them all here.
Free, man. I used to love to go hear him and my sister. So they were my two favorite artists. And by Free being a male artist, you know, naturally I was able to, you know, look at him and be more inspired because I patterned myself after him. I watched the moves that he made, and he would always, you know, reach down to me, you know, and you know, be like, man, stay clear of this, do that, and I would just watch him. So I told my sister one time, I said, she was like, what made you really want to do music? I was like, I just watched you and Free, and you know, they were everything to me growing up. So Free, when if Small World competed against each other in the Grammy showcase, and he won, and I won. And I never get, we was talking shit. He told me, he said, you know, I'm gonna beat Bellinger. You know, I'm gonna beat your sister. And he won. But when Free got his situation, he reached back out to me, and he was like, man, we're gonna go to the studio and make this record. And Jay, we want to get you on it. So from that gave me the confidence to really do it. And I owe him and my sister everything, you know what I'm saying? Because they really were my teachers. And so that's my story.
Drop some what you got coming up. Drop some what you dropping.
So you know, my other musical mentor,
bring him up.
Bobby Sparks. I met him through another mentor, Brandon Temple, who's not here with us. He's in Austin. He was trying to come down here. He mad as hell because he was like, man, I want to come, you know. And we're gonna get him out here in December. But I met Bobby through our brother Brandon, and Bobby took me on the road with him, and he didn't have to do that, and but he did. And from there, you know, we've made a lot of records together. He put me on his album Schizophrenia. That came out, and we just been collaborators ever since, and just a good brother, man, just a solid brother, man. And Bobby from Corsicana, he gonna tell y'all his story in a minute, but just down home, and he got a lot of friends I noticed here in Memphis, so a lot of people love him. The Jacksons, Stacy and them, you know, so
real man, Stacy.
So
we know who them is.
What I think about Bobby, he you know, he doesn't have any limitations on what can be done creatively. He's always like, how crazy are we gonna get? Let's push the boundaries. Like, don't think in terms of radio. Let's just make music. And so we had been talking, and you know, after George Floyd died, all of us started sending you know, messages back and forth to each other to collaborate. And I was like, man, we got to go back to Memphis. So we blocked out the studio, and I think this is going to be
Raw Studio.
I think this is going to be a thing, man, in November before the holidays. We're going to start having cats come here. We're going to block out the studio, and we just going to make records, man, to kick off the new year. So Bobby and all these guys came down.
Thank y'all.
And
shout out.
And I just appreciate, you know, everybody for coming, and we want y'all to feel that Memphis is your second home. I always talk about Memphis, and I keep telling them, it's like, man, you know, the dope thing about Memphis, we don't like people with airs, you know what I'm saying? So when you come to Memphis, you know, you're gonna be around real folk, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have a second home here. So these are my brothers, man, and I met a lot of cats, you know, through Bobby. So
Yo, why don't you introduce Bobby?
Indeed.
Since you already
this is
got the
Body
floor.
Sparks.
Next
Who
up,
took me on my first world tour. And
Chilling
just,
cycle tour.
yeah. Hey, no.
Hey, let this dude
I'll
shoot you
say
like
this.
that.
Bobby showed me how to do it. You know, he showed me how, you know, you're gonna have to spin a little to get a little. And if you put, you know, if you don't cheat the music, put your own money. You don't need a label. Put your own money down or do whatever you got to do to put your music out. And don't ever get caught up in radio. Just make music from the heart and take it back to the old school, cut to tape. You know what I'm saying? Use live instruments, use the vintage shit. And I want to thank this brother for taking me on the road. And I'm gonna let him talk from here.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and the only Bobby Sparks. Bobby Sparks.
What's up, y'all?
Yo, welcome to Ice to Eskimos, selling game to players.
Thank you for being
Would
on
you
the
mind giving us, for those that may not know who you are, what your history is, what you've done, what you contributed to music, and what then go into what you're working on now while you're here in Memphis?
I'm from Corsicana, Texas, a small town. So if you're going from Dallas on Highway 45 going to Houston, it's about 50 miles south. Known for football.
Yes.
Known for College Street Bakery. It's like a famous bakery that is known for the fruitcake and all that stuff. Mostly football. So.
Did you play football?
Yeah, I play football. I'm a musician because I'm a failed athlete.
Yo.
Same for me with comedy. I hoop.
Yeah, I play football and basketball.
What's up?
Failed athlete. But I graduated. I've been playing music all my life. And, I played in the church, of course, Baptist. And I really got my start in the Church of God in Christ, playing modern music. The Church of God in Christ. But I'm Baptist. So we can smoke and drink, still make it to the kingdom. Still make it to the kingdom.
So you can smoke and drink and still make it to the kingdom.
Church of God in Christ, you go to hell for everything.
Right. I take that.
So
A couple of artists that you worked with, who was like?
I started out with Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
Kirk Franklin for 20 years. I'm on all the earlier records.
Ooh, that was my Johnson too. I still listen to them.
The Stomp was the first one that snatched me. That was the first one. I was like,
While we
who
sing
is this?
all them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Melodies from heaven.
And
Okay.
then during that period, I was one of my best friends is a saxophonist. His name Keith Anderson. He was supposed to have been here too.
Okay, shout out to Keith Anderson.
Yeah, what's up, Keith? And but Keith couldn't come, so but Keith, me and Keith always played around town together. But he toured with a jazz legend named Les McCann.
Mm-hmm.
So Les McCann had a stroke in mid-90s, so they hired me to come play organ and just kind of play for him because he really couldn't play anymore. So I started doing Les McCann, and then during the same time, him and Roy Hargrove grew up together.
Shout out to Roy Hargrove. Rest in peace.
So Roy would always come back. So we all drank, smoked, did everything together.
Yeah.
And so in 1999, we started the RH Factor Band. And we did, during that time, I think he was playing with D'Angelo. He was in the horn section. But he wanted to express himself in a different way outside of jazz. So he was at my house one night and we let him hear my Schizophrenia record. It's all funky and shit. And so he was like, I want to do something like that. Let's do it. So we did demos and then record company loved it. They went to Election Lady, cut that. So out of that, I got Marcus Miller gig, who was a bass player. And
Shout
played
out.
with Marcus for 7-8 years. And just as musicians, we all have to play.
Who's my favorite girl though that you played with?
Oh, Layla Hathaway.
That's it.
So like all these gigs I got from playing with different people. So I'm playing with Marcus Miller out because Mark, we was doing a show in these friends with Roy and the RH Factor, and we was really getting in that ass that night.
Come on, dog.
to the
No
point where we
pause.
looked around, and Marcus's whole band was like,
Wow. Yeah.
they was on stage. So then I get a call from Marcus's people, you know. So now I'm in Marcus Miller band, fast forward. And then after the show, Layla comes up to me, will you please be in my band? I'm like, fuck yeah. So
All right.
I started playing with Layla around 2006.
Yo, quick pause. For those that don't know who Marcus Miller is, damn near most of all of Luther's records, you're listening to Marcus Miller on bass.
Wow.
So he ain't talking no Rudy Poot when he says,
And co-producer and
and
songwriter.
co-producer for you. So all of Luther's hits that you make babies to, Marcus Miller. So this is who he's talking about. So again, he ain't just shooting out any kind of name. Yeah,
And
bro.
at the same time, he was a part of the Miles Davis.
Yeah, bro.
When Miles Davis came back on the scene, so he was a part of that band, and then wrote Tutu, and kind of brought Miles's name back to the surface. And,
No.
but you know, we all have to kind of do a lot of things too. That's how we all survive. You know,
Yeah.
Daru knows this, and you know, Jermaine. And then out of certain gigs, you just keep getting gigs. You know, I play with everybody I've done records with George Benson, play with everybody in gospel, from Kirk Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, Fred. I produced records with Fred Hammond, just CC Wine, and everybody.
So I've been praising God. I'm now next to the dude.
Right.
I'm like, thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? This is my guy. This is how it came together. You know what I'm saying? That's life, man. That's how life works.
I work with what's his one Philip.
I hear that. I know that song.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Let it go. Let it go. So what brings you to Memphis, man? What brings you to Memphis this week? What brings you to Royal Studios, man?
Well, you know, my friend, you know, James was like, man, you know, and my boy Boo, you know, he's gonna let us, you know, come up to the studio, mess around, let's the situation. I'm like, well, yeah, man, I've never really experienced. I mean, I used to come here with Kirk Franklin to the Pyramid for Memphis, you know, for Church of God in Christ. Yeah. But I never really just hung out.
Hung out in Memphis.
So like come here and just do some music at Royal, the Royal Studios. It's worth it. You know,
You got any Memphis stories? History, man.
I mean, I'm learning. I'm a student, so I'm still
He
learning.
normally literally gets here at gigs and is out the next day. You know what I'm saying?
So if there's no time to like just hang out, you know, you come and then, you know, Carlos is my boy, so Carlos might come get me or something, and then, you
Maybe
know,
we'll take him and get something to eat or something. Yeah. Back to the gig. He back on the bus and out. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope to have you here, bro. So share with us like the brother who you brought with you from behind you.
this is one of my gigs that I've done with the D'Angelo and the Vanguard back in 2015, 2016. I was able to meet this young man, and you know, he became one of my favorite singers because he sounded like a nigga. You know, people don't sing like this no more. Everybody, you know, music now. All of the singers, they have that Billy Goat. I ain't gonna say no name, but you know, it's like that. It's the millennial thing.
Okay.
So when I heard, I'm like, damn, that's the country shit. That's that fried chicken and
Cornbread.
And D'Angelo is like that. So him and his cousin Red, and I'm like, man, this is like it's some down home shit. This what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Quartet's not that Billy Goat shit that everybody's doing in the pop world. So you know.
And this gentleman's name is
Jermaine Holmes.
Welcome Jermaine Holmes to Memphis.
Yo,
Yo.
I said, you sound like a nigga.
Right. Bro, I heard
I just want to hear something. You want to give your resume? Or do you
How
want
does
to
the
sing
nigga sound? Let me
something?
hear that nigga sound real quick.
Yo, Gonna get this a little bit.
You want to give us something?
I was born by the river in a little town. But since back then, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's that boy
Welcome to Memphis, my G.
That's that boy.
Welcome to Memphis, my G.
That's that make it ugly boy.
Welcome to Memphis, my G. Welcome to Memphis, my guy. So you sat in Sunday night at BB's and did the same record, and he was a killer part. He and I, Bobby and I, sat in on the song before. We did Use Me, and then the organ went out. He wanted to sing Change Is Gonna Come. So, but there's no keyboards now. This brother didn't sweat a bit. This motherfucker walked to the microphone with the drums, a bass player, and a guitar player, and sung these motherfuckers under the table in BB's. Like he had a whole 20-piece orchestra, man.
It must have been a really pretty lady in the building. He was really,
It might have been.
He was inspired. Yeah.
It was a couple.
Yo, welcome to Memphis, bro. And I'm glad to have you. Tell me what you think so far about your experience. And real quick shout out also, he happens to be the cousin of a monster of a guitar player. My brother who came the other week, Jubu Smith.
Oh, yeah?
It's his family, man.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Keeping it connected around here. Again, how do you feel about Memphis? What do you think? What is your experience thus far?
I mean,
Now that you met me, it's fucking awesome.
Damn freak.
So
Okay.
for Al Green to
We'll
be
move
my
past that
favorite
part.
singer
Yes, Al Green home.
of all time, out of
Right.
everybody, and you know, to first get a call from James, you know, and for him to tell me that he wanted me to come here, you know, and he said Royal Studios, and I'm like, yeah, whatever studio, it's all good.
Right.
And I didn't know the history, you know, of my favorite singer.
Right.
So I get here, and Bobby Sparks as well. That's my brother. You know, just the experience of being here, knowing that the history that comes from here, and like just the talent in this area.
Yeah.
The food, they love to eat. But you know, but you know, just the vibe I'm getting from everybody, and it's nothing but love. This feel like home. I feel like
And where you
I'm
from,
around
bro?
my family. I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Shout out.
I had my food. What you been eating?
You know, I had some, what's the wings?
Wing Factory, bro.
Factory?
You went to
the Wing Factory?
No. Wing Factory's been catering here, bro.
With the Wing Factory?
Yeah, bro.
Shout out to the Webbers, man. You know,
His brother was
man.
here.
I'm opening up a restaurant with them, the Turkey Leg Factory.
This is my guy that's doing the turkey leg factory.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. They'll be back.
That's what's up, man.
They'll be back to
They
do
been
this
bomb,
session.
right?
Yeah,
You know, Wing
absolutely.
Factory, by far, bro, the best wings ever. I'm not gonna say lemon pepper.
Great.
You had the lemon pepper?
Then we had a whole
I know,
We
but
had a
that lemon pepper,
of wings.
but them lemon peppers, though. Oh my fucking
You can
God.
tell he eating just nuts right now. It's
Right.
salivating.
Yeah, I'm on a vegetarian kick right now.
Yo, so what do you think about
I got a whole bag full of nuts.
So how do you feel about this project you're working on with Bobby and
I'm
being
not
here
afraid
in
to
Memphis
hold
and
my bag of
recording
nuts, too.
you know, like a whole like session right now?
Well,
Linking up with Daru
I
and
love to
MJG being in the studio now. Shout out. I'm trying to get his ass over here too in a minute.
For me, I love to work with artists that are like innovative and like super creative and open, and not just like trying to keep this one little trend that people are doing and like just go
beyond boundaries. You know, these are the guys. You know, every single person that's here is like individually on a different level. You know, like all the cats. The cats I didn't know a lot of people here, but when I see them and what they do, now I understand. You know, so just to connect with dope people from an area that I didn't know nothing about. You know, I'm from the East Coast, Jersey, so I know New York, Philly, what's down that line. You know, so you don't get a chance to go deep inside and see what's around on these side streets. And,
Right.
You know,
and for you to feel like this is home also, that's
Right.
dope.
Absolutely, it's family, man.
Yeah.
I feel it. I'm here.
Since Sunday night, bro. Since Sunday night at BB's,
Yes,
my
sir.
dude.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't know you could sing from a hole in the wall, but you got up there and killed, my dude. Like for real, for real. So who's the brother you brought
So
with you?
who started checking you yet? So where's check you got? But they hit you with yet?
What do you
I
mean?
know
Nobody
somebody
checked
roasted you.
Nobody.
What?
The BB's Airbnb studio.
So he ain't, no, you ain't seen me.
Just like we got on his sweater, that's a check.
Yeah, you
check.
Don't do it. Anyway. Oh, Jubu. Shout out your cousin on here, bro.
Jubu.
Jubu just chimed in, bro.
That's my first cousin right there.
It's just
Guitar
stupid
player
ass.
with Tony, and Whitney Houston.
Frankie Beverly and Mays. Yeah,
all
bro.
that.
Bro, you need to call me, bro. I was trying to tell you this was up here.
It's in the whole bloodline.
Who's your brother you got behind you? And then we're gonna end to take care of my cousin. Man, I got him, bro. Who's the brother in the orange hat that you got back here? 'Cause I got this ass brother back here.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, man, I'm from Louisiana and shit, you know.
Okay.
Where
What's your name?
Gerard Marshall.
Gerard Marshall.
Yeah, I've been out in Austin for 4 years. I played keyboards with the Grammy-nominated Black Women's out of Austin. And yeah, me and the homie James Robinson got a few. Put that out, and it's been received kind of well. And yeah, meeting a lot of new homies out here. Like Bobby said, you know, I'm just a student of the game, you know. I'm like 27. I might be the youngest person there, but you know. Having fun, you know what I mean? It's been good locking in, so much love, you know?
Welcome to Memphis, my G. Welcome to Memphis. Well, we got one more person and they gonna say.
I passed him to her a couple times, but it's a vibe.
Yeah.
I met Boo, he came to our show and I saw him at the Grammys this year, and you know, it was good to see him again. I think he chimed in that little vote, so hopefully we get one. Right. Whatever.
Man, thank you for coming, bro. Thank you for chiming in, my guy.
Energy, bro.
Thank you for chiming in real quick. Hold on 1 second, please. Let me slide by you, sir. Let me slide by. Because we have one more guest in the house that I might have to really kind of finagle to make this happen. So he's a
If we're doing this, let's make sure we're on the Eskimos page.
Okay, you mind coming over here just for a second, my guy? We're gonna make it quick and painless. I promise. Am I in the shot? Is he in the shot? No, bro. Yo, shout out to this monster of a musician, and like as big of a monster as he is on stage, he's such a quiet and shy individual off stage.
That Prince vibe.
Bro, forget that. He played with Prince. He was one of the last bass players to share a stage with Prince before he transitioned. So again, Memphis has so much fucking talent in its city and unknown. This brother here travels the world with Snarky Puppy, and again, he worked with Prince, and just he's his own individual. He's his own entity. He's his own mantra. He's his own mindset. He's his own brand. And when you hear him play, he takes you to his own world. I want you to meet my brother. His name is Dwayne Thomas, but the world knows him as Mono Neon. He's not gonna talk much, so I get that. I'm just glad he decided to step up here for a second. You know,
Can I
jump in one
go ahead. Just don't ask too many questions.
You've turned me into him a lot. So I've always feel like, what do you think this purpose is of life? Like in your opinion, like when you wake up, what do you think?
But he's being sincere. He's being sincere.
You never had it
I
like
thought he went and jumped in that deep. Okay.
I just had the feeling like it seems like he has a good vibe about it. I just maybe had an idea about what life was.
Do you have anything you want to share or give the universe right now?
No.
Okay, cool. So we blessed.
He gives the world music, bro. He talks to his instrument, bro. Like just as quiet as he is right now, bro. I swear to you, if you ever catch him on a show, you're gonna get the 180 of this musically. He's gonna whoop you in all manner of ways.
Is there anything you do like to talk about? If you was with him.
He was already good.
I'm just saying we're not gonna do that. I'll tell him like that.
I'm trying to figure out like a scenario. I'm trying to paint a scenario. You trying to free? I'm free now. I
Yo,
if you didn't wear that
put
sweater,
it wrong.
What makes this special for me is the last gig I played before COVID hit was with this brother in Jubu in St. Louis. So to have my first session back since COVID and this brother is a part of it, it means everything. It's all about the alignment. Like to be on a record with this brother Daru over here. Like this is truly special for all these amazing musicians who are known in the industry to be here and a part of something and doing something here in Memphis. Amazing. Thank you, bro, for coming in.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
that's the whole
Thank you,
vibe.
bro.
That's been crazy
Thank you,
already.
bro. For real. All right. I'm done with that. All right.
Wow.
Okay.
You see
Some
when
people-
Los get turned up. You can see.
What I like.
music
What
vibe.
I love about life is I have so many different energies.
That's it,
Bro.
That's it.
For
You
real.
know? And you do not have to like them all.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You know
vibe
what
with
I've
them.
learned is that I don't like certain things.
Yeah.
You know, and there's certain things I love,
Yeah.
and some things I really don't like.
Do you think that you can get a wrong first impression? Is that possible? Have you ever gotten a wrong first impression?
No.
Okay.
I have not.
Okay.
It's certain to me. There's certain principles in life that have gained what I find respectable, but I do not think my way or my view is the only way. I just think that in my path and what I'm learning to truly have confidence is in my path. Like, this is how I see it. I don't like that. I don't agree. Well, I disagree. I don't think you should. Okay, I appreciate
That's
that
cool.
you don't
But
like
this
that.
is your path.
But this is my path. I
Right.
don't like this. I don't like you.
But being free does still allow you to be open to maybe
Not liking you.
almost.
Listen, see, a lot of times in free people think that it means like, oh, I'm supposed to be open-minded. I get it. I get you are your way you are, but I don't like the way you are. And I'm starting to be okay with
Not liking that.
whatever, nigga. Okay.
So
I think
And,
that
you know,
should be.
a million people can feel someone, and I can be like, whatever, niggas like on some old like that. And I'm coming to a place in my state of mind where I realize that doesn't make me right to
Or
the
wrong.
world, but it doesn't make me wrong for me.
exactly, bro. I can
It
respect
doesn't
that.
make me wrong
I
for
definitely
me.
respect that.
And I think a lot of times people lose.
I feel
of
like in that room, I feel there was some wonderful energy. I just felt like that it wasn't some others that wasn't. And I also feel like, I think that sometimes in this world we play a lot of games and a lot of fucking images. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't know. I would say
I think people really know what the fuck's going on a lot of times.
I think
A lot of people act like they don't.
I think it's the uniqueness of each individual, because I felt some of the energy, especially you could tell cats who are in their zone, you can tell they got a whole different place in their zone, but when you get them in front of a mic, that's not completely where they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of great people aren't really sociable. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? When you say great people, but I would argue you mean people who are great at certain things. Great people would be sociable, great at things, great at understanding, great at vibes, great at relating.
I accept that correction. I
would call it.
I would say people who are great at. I would say people who are great at things artists, like painters. You know what I'm saying? They
stay away.
They still need.
You know, it's perfect. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to get this investor I need to kind of pull into my restaurant. Right? I got a situation where I'm trying to make the restaurant work. I got an artist, and I would call him an artist, but recipes, the way the thing needs to be. But maybe the money, maybe things like that. So I'm like, why don't we bring some stuff in? Like, why don't we figure this thing out? So it's like you gotta have people that have different philosophies, different lives, different views of things.
That's good.
You know what I'm trying to say? And share different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's got to be able to be honest and say, this isn't gonna work, and this isn't gonna work, and then you have to be able to figure out how to make it work. So To me, I'm just the type of person is in this life, 42 years old.
Do you need to take the sweater off? Do you need to take
No.
okay.
Do you not like my sweater?
No, you was rocking and shit. I know it's hot. It's hot.
I feel good.
That's all.
I feel good.
It was warm in here. You was doing
I
this.
feel good, and I feel like you don't like my sweater.
It's Indian. I know what it is. I'm saying you had used it to wipe your face. Your shirt to wipe your face. It's warm. We in the tight studio.
It was warm. It was.
You know, and I mean, you know, and then
there
you
was a lot of
drinking.
beautiful souls, and I
And
really
then you was
appreciate
rocking.
everybody
That was-
joining, and it was really cool, you
It
know.
was a unique. We didn't even expect it.
And also, you know, another thing too, like this goes back like to that LeBron conversation. It's like you can like a person and like their or appreciate even their art, but
Not necessarily care for the person.
The person. But,
That's true.
you know what I'm trying to say? And I don't think anything wrong with that.
I think we need to be happy in this day and age, not liking somebody. I think we need to be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we don't have
Why
to
do
like
I have
everybody.
to like everybody?
We need to be cool
Right.
with not liking
Right.
somebody or somebody not liking you.
Somebody not liking
vibing.
you.
That's
Exactly.
cool. You don't vibe with some people. I don't vibe with some people. Some people don't vibe with me. Some people, hey, this guy's too positive. Is he really this positive? Whatever.
Let me know, nigga.
I already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
You
look,
just call them over
if
there.
I get stolen on by a dude with this type of sweater on,
You can
hey,
come back here,
that's what I
James.
deserve. That's what I deserve. Like,
You don't like my sweaters? James, what's wrong with my sweater, man?
Yeah, we got to start on this
A new song.
this joint
is
with the Al Green sample.
is
It's
Oh.
crazy. Archie did this joint.
Oh
It's
shit.
cold. He mixed it the Al Green with the
I'm playing
Smile
drums on
record.
it. Am I playing
Yeah,
drums on it? Is Daru playing
Yeah.
too?
Bobby
Both
gonna put the
of them?
live organ, yeah.
Oh.
But let's get
All right, let's get on some real shit.
straight over there because we gonna cut.
I'm here, but I gotta go through this.
Okay,
Go
when
through this.
when
Stay for a second. I
Can
want
we
you to be
get
a part of
MJG
this
to
on the
come
conversation.
Yeah.
He working. He working.
That's
But we-
Cool.
Look,
MJG.
we
Ah,
finna
that's
cut
what I
that
said. Okay.
everybody
But the joint that we're gonna do with free, we're gonna let it happen organically. So let's just build it tonight. After the MJG joint, we're gonna do this.
okay, if we're gonna do that, I might have to get more weed.
Yeah.
Bring weed.
I think it's something.
I brought one joint. No, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything is good, man.
You good, bro?
Good.
Hey, listen, I want you to join in because I think that one thing that we need to discuss, and I think it's
Yo,
important.
yeah,
and
can I talk for a minute? Let me go see if I can get him to just speak for a
Just
second.
interrupted me.
Yeah,
Like,
No, I'm just trying to get one more Memphis legend on the show,
Show your
bro.
thing, man.
Don't get him to do his thing, but yo, really want you to be a part of this conversation.
He coming back. He
Come
coming
back. I
back.
promise.
I think we're just gonna have a long episode.
Go ahead. No, I think it's gonna be
But
right.
they finna play the track.
Can we
So they got it
change
synced up now.
it to where it can carry with
They got it
us?
synced up now.
I'm
You
talking
need
about
to-
we can let them go to the studio. I want them
I haven't
to
seen you like in a few
can
days.
travel
man.
with us. That's what
Stay
I'm.
by my side.
Just stay on that for a minute. No. Let him go. Let him go. He working.
No, I don't want to let him go.
I know.
We're trying to make it.
We work. We work.
Yo,
No,
I got
something for you.
You don't need to leave me now.
I love you, Chris.
But all of these people in here.
They're laughing at my sweater. I don't know what to do.
I'll be back, man.
What's wrong with the sweater?
Exactly, man.
It's just- My daddy gave me that chain.
My son got 3 tapes in this thing.
Congratulations to son. The baller.
God damn it.
Go
All right,
ahead. Say your
topic today. You know, there's some shit going on, and I don't give a fuck. I'm in the mood. Like, it's pissed me off. I'm so sick of it. I've been watching since I was a kid. I was 6 years old. I was 6 motherfucking years old. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, we good on this for
All right. Listen, I was 6 years old, Dallas, Texas. I had a grand slam home run at the end of the game. Won this little T-ball fucking game, right? I'm 6 years old, bro. At the end of the game, when we're lining up, shaking hands, the coach on the other team shakes my hand, looks at me. I'm 6 years old. This is a grown ass man. Lucky hit, nigga.
Oh, 6 years
I'm
old.
6 years old. Right? I'm 6 years
And
old,
he was
bro.
white.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm 6 years motherfucking old.
Very cool cheering.
All right? You see what I'm saying?
Who is eventually gonna? Let me ask y'all a question. Have we got on the subject of race and what's been going on in America yet?
So that's what I'm trying to talk about right now.
Let's go.
I've
been wanting to ask you
hold
this.
on, let me get to it now.
That was a deep setup. Right?
Because what I'm trying to say is, and I don't want any of my my family members or anybody that's take me the wrong way. You need to clearly understand me. I'm not speaking of all white people. Matter of fact, I'm so sick of the fact that if I say something about some black people, some white people, some woman, ain't all women, all black. Obviously. You know what I'm trying to say?
Clearly, you're not talking about all white people.
I'm not talking about
black people.
all white people.
Go ahead.
But I do think that there is a system of white people that I've been noticing since I was a 6-year-old child. It's when it woke me up. There's a certain amount of white men, and I believe that there are black people and Asian people and all people that fit in this. But in my experience, Trump, he attracts the white family at a 7-year-old baseball game against the baseball team that has 3 little Mexicans and 2 blacks, and just yells at the umps, and the umps change the fucking kids completely safe. And I've been watching this shit since I was a fucking kid. Basketball. I've been watching fucking white parents who do not care about cheating at fucking all. Have completely embarrassed themselves on a fucking child's game. I've been watching since I was a child. And to me, that's what a Trump supporter reminds me of. Now, anyone that knows me knows I don't give a fuck about Biden. I don't give a fuck about Democrats. I don't fuck about Republicans. I don't fuck about Christianity. You know, Christians themselves, all good. And I'm not dissing individuals. But as a unit, as a groups, as organizations, I don't fuck with that shit. So I'm not a fan of any situation. But that shit really, you know, stands out to me. How right now when Donald Trump is like, yo, stop counting. It's like, damn, no shame. And I think that that's something that America needs to talk about. There's a corner of America that happen to be white people that refuse shame. To refuse the shame of shit. And it's shameful, man, to block, stop the count now. Stop the count now. That's fucking shameful. Niggas have had to experience shamefulness with blowing up our neighborhoods. We had Huey P. Newton caught up in a fucking drug fucking transaction. I mean, black people have had to face our punishments or our, falls. Or, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, we've always had to look ourselves in the mirror, and it's like going back to what Dave Chappelle. Y'all remember when Dave Chappelle, when he did that Beyond the Actors interview, where he was like, man, America is like the greatest country in the world by default. And he was like, but we could actually be, the greatest country, ever if we had an honest discourse with ourselves. And it's just like living in the information age, and especially with, cell phones and cameras and things like that, you can't lie to us anymore. We know, how this country, and we've always known, that how we grew up, how this country has felt about us as a race of people. And it's like, we have to deal with it now. I've been wanting to ask you, because, you and I, over the years, we had deep conversations. Yeah, and I know
ones that I always
how your mind, same time. I don't want to ask you.
It's a conversation, motherfucker.
Hey, man, I'm saying, even in the conversation, I would right.
Was y'all both Pisces?
You know what I'm saying?
Born on the same day.
Same birthday,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying?
But let me ask both of y'all. Let me
ask the conceit because I'm older. See, so he's had to just accept the fact.
Seniority.
The man loves you. He loves you.
The fact.
But let me ask y'all. Let me ask you. I'm gonna start with you, Free.
It's hard on life.
When you saw this man get killed like that, when you saw George Floyd, that's fucked up. That we gotta say,
right?
Yeah, that's
that's part of it.
George Floyd, right? Because that was the one that really shook the nation and the world to the core. R.I.P. to Ahmaud Arbery. But when you saw the George Floyd murder, honestly, man, as a black man in America, how did that shit make you feel? I'll be quiet. How did it make you feel?
I'm interested to hear again.
Are you open-minded?
Yeah.
I mean, man, I fuck with you. Your family to me.
What were your thoughts when you saw?
I'm gonna break it down. I'm giving it to you.
That shit was crazy.
I'm giving it to you. It's like that.
On the neck.
See, black and white to me. I'm not black and white.
It's not in black and white.
It's not. It's not. So let me give it to you.
You're gonna give
And I like that people probably pissed off that I can't say, oh, it was fucked up. It's fucked up. Okay, I give it to you. It's fucked up. All right. But what I think to myself immediately is, you know, why this one?
You said why this one?
Yeah.
Why this?
Why this one? How many niggas is doing this and why now? These are the first thoughts that I think of. Because of the game that I feel like the game that we're being played right now. Like I don't know how to trust what the media is feeding me. I don't know how to do it. So while I have sympathy for those of us who have been murdered unjustly by not just police officers, but by our own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that would be my next second thought is, oh, we're mad because a cop killed somebody, but we didn't give a fuck that 3 kids just got shot over the fucking weekend and 4th of July.
Chicago.
We didn't give a fuck. I mean, yeah, some organizations say, oh no, we gave a fuck, we marched. No, the media didn't give a fuck. So my thing is, why do we give so much credit to the stories that were fed?
Mm.
And I wonder, why is the story being fed?
So instead of
That's
being
what I
a sheep to the system, like we should be mad at this, everybody should be pissed about this. My guy does not just jump into the fray.
Because what does it affect me? It's the point I was trying to make earlier is, I love you. You're my guy. A lot of respect for you. I can see you almost like a brother or a cousin of mine, for real. And if you were to tell me, man, I lost a good friend today, I would have condolences. I'd feel sad for you. Throughout the day, like, man,
Can I get a pen, baby?
throughout the day, I hope my G is all right. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Phone call. I've been working on a motherfucking deal, put $15,000 in my pocket. I swear to God, during that fucking 30-minute conversation, I'm not thinking about James and his friend. So to me, if that's how I feel in that situation, how the fuck do I feel anything towards George Floyd? I respect it and I understand the challenge, but how do I feel it? To me, it's a setup. I think that the game is real, the story is real, there is real attack on us in a way, and it's always been that way. But I also feel too much has been given, much is expected. And I feel like, what the fuck did we think we playing? We think we playing like happy-go-lucky game?
Yeah.
It's fucking life, G. Is it crime every time, or is it just fucking time to man the fuck up and fucking get your business going, get your shit going, fucking stop crying about shit, go in a room with a fucking smile on your face? How many times you walk in the room with a fucking smile with a frown on your face, thinking they're not gonna like you because you are black? How about you try walking in the room with a smile on your face? I kill it every day. Walk up to the bank, walk up to these places, I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's up? I come in there myself.
But think about this though. How many times it's like we put on the mask as black folks, and we do that, right? We play the part, we show that, you know, we're non-threatening, and it's like, but at the end of the day, there's somebody that'll take your life, man, and it's like, you got a family, you got a son, you got a daughter, you got a woman, and it's like, you can be like, man, and I know this better than any, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to do whatever they want to do. Whatever you believe it. I'm not here to judge you. However you want to love. However you want to live your life or where you live life, do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to walk in harmony with everyone. But there are people that don't give a damn about that. And what's fucked up.
What do you feel?
And that brings
No, I don't feel
Hold on.
that. But what I'm saying is, what's so fucked up in this world is that you'll have a brother like you that's just want to see people happy. You're like, man, I ain't trying to shit you. You want to be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do it. And somebody will, God forbid, take your life, take you out of here. And it's just like, this motherfucker don't even, their mind don't even work like that. You know
why is that a bad thing?
The person taking you out of here?
Why is death?
No, death.
If someone kills me
or
being
if you
me,
die in a bed, then is it a loss?
if someone kills me doing me, and because the reason I died is because I was putting something positive. How do I lose? Because this is just the illusion anyway.
You don't lose, but
nor does the universe truly.
But the people that still want and need you here, you know what I'm saying? Why should they have to suffer that loss? You know what I'm saying? Why should we have
because my life? Because my life.
Let me say this: if anyone,
because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Out of here, no, because I don't give a fuck.
And it's like you just trying to do good.
James, I love you.
I do comedy.
I love you.
You know, I just want to do my thing. I don't care how people.
James,
you know, somebody.
James,
a white police officer gun you down.
I'm not interrupting you, but I am. But I'm saying, fuck what they think. See.
And see, the thing is Free's mindset is clearly on if it doesn't affect him. Like even we've discussed this before. So if it doesn't affect him, then he doesn't affect. Like he wouldn't expect someone who does not know Free to be affected by Free's death. Although what you're saying, in my opinion, is that we lose if the person is taken what seems to be early. But in my opinion, Nipsey Hussle's life shows that even in your being taken in the physical, your touch and your reach doesn't end there. If you keep putting out that.
I believe that.
So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. You know.
I don't think death is as negative as we think. If you truly look in your life, everyone you've ever lost, the moment you've lost them, some doors have opened.
No, I believe that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And some doors have opened, realizations. Some things have come to realization. That's a door opening. That's a lightning thing going. When a death happens, a gift happens to you, to those who are paying attention.
If you are
and are one with themselves.
That's the deepness about our podcast, that we offer different opinions and we sometimes sway one another.
And I'm right.
And he is pretty good at swaying. Now,
right.
to bring it back around,
this is gonna be the title of our song that we're gonna do tonight. And we're gonna fix you some coffee.
Hey, please, give him a little juice.
It's the concept. It's the concept, and it's the title all in one. I lost a good friend today.
Hey, check this out.
Oh, this thing
to bring it back around.
Boo's gonna have to stay here past 12.
He was talking about
Isaac,
certain sections.
Help him because he's going to. No, he's been running around here all day, and his daughter's been helping, but we may need you. Let
me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something.
I lost a friend today.
He was talking about how a certain section of the South. Yeah, I got you. Okay. A certain section of the South or a certain type of people.
Thank you.
What happened?
No, I said that shit always happens organically. Whatever we're writing to, that's a great fucking title. I lost a good friend today. God damn, you still got it.
Everybody gonna feel it. Everybody gonna feel it. A lot of people feel like they lost good friends.
That's a cool title.
I see some people say that. Like I was just talking about
friends today. I do a lot with that shit. On the hook. Oh, let's go. All right, okay, I'm sorry.
Where's Carlos at?
I'm trying to.
He's in there playing drums and making music. What we're trying to get you to do this.
That's why I asked. Can we take the cameras and go inside?
That. We can't do that yet.
That's too much.
No. I was just trying to see how quick it was. Just like a little followers type of thing. That's all.
We just have to pull it up on the
what we can do, guys, what we can do is we can set up an after show. And we can go live to that from the thing. It could just be a special after show from.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which is the one that is really important though.
When you saw the Killing Joy,
it doesn't get on. It doesn't go.
I did a good job, man. I did a good job of not wanting to see it, didn't see it, and it took a while.
I waited a minute too
before I saw it. You know what I mean? And
that shit was just weird. Everybody was like reposting that shit. I'm like, who the fuck wants to see a man get tortured like that?
Watching the guy's face. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about his race, but the cockiness in which he was kneeling on bro neck. And you can just wait a minute because I know you probably
right. You're right. I caught myself.
But what I'm saying, I did
this and then I pulled away. Like,
yeah, good job. So it was frustrating to see his cockiness and just, you know what I'm saying, he just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But again, what I'm more moved by, and I told my guy the other day,
racism is arrogance.
What I told my guy though is that from tragedy, you see beauty. You know what I mean? And the thing is that you see less melanated people, white people, standing up. George Floyd, propaganda or not, it spread throughout the world. You know what I mean? They spray painting his face in Sudan and other places. You know what I'm saying? It's just everywhere. So to have that happen and people be awakened is, you know what I'm saying, some beauty came out of his death, which is tough to see.
Yeah. Which is the thing, is beauty comes out of death. And the only thing about life is guaranteed is death. It's inevitable. And our society, for some reason, prepares us and wants us to be afraid of death. When we are gearing up, obviously, and learning the things you learn as you get older, the things you learn to let go of, the things you realize are unimportant, things you are. See, that's a reason. This is a school, and I think our souls fly here. We come here for an education. I think we come here purposely to learn, to develop ourselves as gods. And I think that it's a way deeper level. And I think
that was a deep one.
I think
a soul school.
When
like
you
they
get
fly
lost,
in.
and in the soul school, I think part of the distraction, understanding in that soul school, is that you have an arch enemy, which you think is your enemy, but the darkness only shows you to the light. You know, the hardness, the difficulty of a journey, which one would say is the Satan or the evilness fighting against you, is what creates the character. It's what creates the joy and the power in the end. So it's all of it works together. It's one feather. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's all one. And then that,
he's on it now.
And then
like,
and
this
then
is
that
why you can listen
on.
to the drunk on the corner, because it's because like even drunk people make sense. And he ain't even drunk, but
Ned the Wino.
That man dropped so many jewels just then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's so flight school. That was deep shit, bro.
But that's where we at, bro. We in school, and that's
it's
why
believable.
That's why it's called the earth. That's why it's called the earth. You know, we fall into the earth because
that's what Elijah Muhammad said. The earth is a school, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's deep shit, man. But this brother, man, throughout the years has always been a deep thinker, and it's good to, you know, at this stage in the world, man. We fast forward and here we are. And to see, you know, everything that's going on now, and to hear your perspective, and to hear your perspective, it's cool to come back home. Because I see things, and you know, in Texas, you know, friends of mine back home and family back home. It's like I wonder how they feel about it. Like I see something and it's like, damn, man. I wish I could just, you know, hang out with Free and see what are his thoughts about what the fuck just happened in the world, you know? What is such and such thoughts, you know? What's Valencia's thoughts about everything that's going on?
You know what some of my thoughts are? One, because we really didn't get into the mind frame of certain Americans that would not care about cheating, or do not care.
Say care about cheating?
Yeah.
He was going back. He circled back. I was trying to circle back.
On the boat.
You know, it's like right now.
That shit. I knew that shit was making weird.
Yeah, we all did. But the point of it is that it was predicted. You saw it happen, and there's no shame in doing it. Which leads me to my next thing is, each 4 years I'm reminded how bad, racially biased, ignorant, and how slow the southern and midwestern states are.
Do you think we should have just done segregation just to cut that? Is that what it is?
No, I just think something. What's wrong? Like Tennessee turned red like by like 6:30.
Tennessee was always red though.
But that's my thing. So the fuck what? It's like that.
I think this shit gonna play out. I think it's gonna be litigation, man.
It's like I don't understand. I just feel like, bro, like for real, man.
If you didn't know Donald Trump was gonna be like, if I win, it was fair. If I lose, they cheated. Then you already,
he already baited us into. He was like putting those things out there leading up.
I just feel like with Christianity and saying silly shit like yes, ma'am, and no, sir, lower level education, crazy numbers of obesity, reign supreme, and just why this shit is crazy. And I think it's time for Southerners to wake the fuck up.
Is that Southerners?
Yeah. And Midwesterners. I don't give a fuck, man. I love Memphis.
Weird shit about
I love Memphis. Hold up. I love Memphis. I love Austin. I love Dallas. I love New Orleans. I love Nashville. I love these cities, but these rural, these fucked up areas, and I'm not gonna say they're fucked up because they're beautiful and they feel with beautiful people. But the thing is, bro, it's like this red state shit, bro. It's like I don't know, man. We got to figure out how to get the fuck out of here, shit.
What's your thing about
Austin is a liberal town, and the danger of that is that you have a lot of transplant people from all over, right? Coming from all parts of the U.S. and all parts of the world, and Austin technically is the South, but it's not like the deep South, so they don't really understand. Like, we grew up seeing like a divide between like black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, so racism is not something we try to pretend like doesn't exist. Like we've always known that it exists. But in Austin, everybody's like kind of kumbaya. Everybody's kind of cool.
Yo.
So it's like it's weird because when all this shit, all the shit that hit the fan,
I want
to
argue.
I got white friends that in their heart, at first it offended me, but I realized like, okay, the way they grew up, they really believe that racism was a thing of the past. We've always known that shit ain't never went nowhere. But I get it. It's a geographical thing. Like,
see, I want to argue.
Is generational
I want to
and
argue.
geographical.
I want to argue that racism is an illusion.
Well,
do you think
let's talk about it.
He kind of agrees.
What I'm saying is, when I say racism, I'm not talking about just like despising someone because of the color of their skin. I agree with you in terms of that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But
like a guy riding around in a rebel fucking flag will ride around and be playing.
Yeah, that's bullshit. The whole like,
if you're really racist, like in the 50s and 30s and 40s.
That's what
they was like, man, fuck that nigga music. Don't play that nigga music. If you gonna play that nigga music, steal it and put it behind his white group.
But when I say racism, what I mean is being okay with a system that you are consciously aware that's in place and that has been in place to keep a specific group of people within the nation under your thumb, under circumstances. That the whole like colorism and all that shit, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
But in terms of like knowing that there is a system that caters to a specific group of people over other groups of people.
How do you feel about
being in denial about that? To me, it's like you can't like at this point in our lives with the technology that exists and all of the history, the internet, all of the information that we know, we can't pretend anymore.
How do you feel about the law of attraction?
Like, I'm gonna get on that. We cannot pretend that black folks in this country have not been done a disservice. You know what I'm saying? We cannot pretend like we didn't build this country, and we were not given what is legally owed to us for building the country.
Now, I would agree that there's been a disservice, but see, we look.
I'm doing a time check just to make sure that
if you gotta go. Okay. If we're doing a disservice, which has been true, but we're looking in the wrong area of disservices. The service has been blocking out the light of the consciousness, God within, accepting the false religions, all the distractions, choosing the young motherfuckers of us own, making us sexual beasts, us going for it. You know what I'm trying to say? That's been the trick. That's been the real, and gotten into your spirit, your soul, and forgotten. It made you forgetting that you were the original man of Asia. You were the original man of fucking Russia. You were the original man of Africa. Mm-hmm. And when the world was one, we traveled and ventured out. Mm-hmm. Over time, the sun changed the color and the existence of the people. But the original people were of one color, was one human race. The whole design is a fucking illusion. And it only benefits a few, and it controls us. And it keeps us at such a certain level where it keeps us in a prison. As long as you consider yourself black and then white, you have divided yourself from who is one with you. That's the game. We got to remove that game. And I feel like there's a point I'm trying to make as I keep going back to it up here. But I feel like Go ahead, Robert.
Well, see, for me, that's where I am in the middle of him bringing us together. You know what I'm saying? Because I recognize I was and I am in a place of point of enlightenment where I know there is no race, but I do and have experienced what it's like to be a black man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to skip getting the recognition that it's supposed to be getting or the acknowledgement of the crimes against people of color. But I do want to get us to a place where we recognize there is no race.
Absolutely.
So it's
and evolving. Like I was talking with a friend a couple of months ago, and we were talking about, you know, you have a quote unquote millennials, and they're all angry about what took place with Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. And, you know, that anger is justified, but at the same time, you have to evolve and go into a different space in order to be effective for what we're facing right now, right? So whenever I see, you know, an emotional response to, you know, the situations that are taking place and someone stuck there, what that lets me know is that they're still kind of like in the infant stages of their consciousness. Because when you realize what we've been through as a race of people, you know, where we come from, what we've been through and what we're still facing, you know, in today's time, the natural response is going to be anger. But you can't remain angry, you know, because that'll stagnate you. So we have, you know, it's weird growing up. I always knew of Dr. King, right? Living here in Memphis, and I respected him, you know, because he was put in front of us all the time, and our parents loved him, you know. But naturally, you know, in the '90s, growing up in the '90s, Malcolm X was cooler, right? Yeah. You know, but I've come to appreciate Dr. King even more, you know. I guess because I'm an older man now at this stage in my life, and was like, man, this dude. Not to compare the two, you know, because they both were great men, but Dr. King, man, was, you know, there was nothing pussy about him, you know, like that was really dope. The fact that this man was here in Memphis trying to fight for the rights of garbage workers. Yeah. And that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he, to me, you know, not to take anything away from Malcolm X, but to me, Martin was more mature. He matured faster, you know what I'm saying? In like intellectually in terms of his social consciousness and his emotional, you know, instead of emotionally reacting to things, he spiritually and politically responded to things versus how Malcolm dealt with things.
All right, I gotta cut you off right there because we got a deep. It was deep.
It was deep because they had two different upbringings.
Deep, but I totally disagree. And that's what this is going to be fun about.
You say you totally.
And this is one thing we love about Ice Eskimos is that how we can disagree, but yeah, we can.
Change your point of view.
Right. I see your point of view. I see your point of view, and I respect it totally. But even in the end, Malcolm said, I'm afraid I'll walk us into a burning building. In the end, Malcolm realized we were all one. And that he still wasn't trying to walk us into the system. I think the idea and one of the greatest mistakes that we ever did was buy into the idea that we needed to be within their integrated system.
Segregation.
Integrated, that we needed to be integrated.
But here's what Malcolm didn't understand that Martin Luther King understood.
I think I didn't interrupt you.
Well, okay. Well, I can't make.
No, I can't. Go way back.
Here's one of the rules that I have in conversation. Here's one of the rules that I have in conversation. Right. I can't let somebody expound on a lie. I can't let you go off on a tangent.
Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong?
Here's where you went wrong.
All right.
Because what Malcolm X was talking about, one thing that when I said Martin Luther King, it took me years to understand and even accept this because I was such a Malcolm X fan.
Right.
But what I felt like Martin was actually more of a general in terms of his strategic approach to how to liberate Black folks. If you know that we are a nation within a nation, if you're under the system, the white man's currency system. You don't have a military force. You don't have a police department. You can't say, when Malcolm was saying, we just gotta like separate and do our own thing.
I mean, equal and separate and equal.
Exactly. But what I'm saying
Our
is,
own banks.
where are you going to take black folks? Let's be realistic. I don't know how many black people were living at that time in America, but let's just go on a round number. Let's say, where the hell are you going to take 4 million African American people in the United States of America? Since you say let's separate from the white man, where the hell are you going to take them, Malcolm?
I think
how you going to get them there? Where they going to go?
I think there are many places they could have gone.
Okay,
We have
so
Chicago.
I need
We
to
have
s-
Philadelphia.
I
Different
need-
movements.
no,
Different
I
different
need-
things were happening.
I need to see.
I think
I
I've
need
been
to
listening.
see.
I've
No.
been
Let me
listening.
finish. Let
Yeah,
me finish.
All right.
I need to see Malcolm. I need to see the record of where the funds were going to come from out of Malcolm's money, not Elijah Muhammad's money. Because you can come up with all the grand and great ideas you want to when you're spending someone else's money, and that's a whole nother conversation on what got Malcolm X killed. Because I didn't want to go there, but you can talk shit when you got another man's military and his protective force behind you.
But that's not. But he didn't have that.
What I'm
At
saying,
the end, he did not.
to a degree,
And to the point.
did.
See,
To
this
a
is.
degree, he
I-
did.
let me have my
Basically,
moment.
what I'm saying is, Malcolm, where the hell are you going to take us? Since you say let's separate
We
from
saw-
the white,
and we
let's
saw
let's
where
separate,
Martin
let's
took-
separate from the white
We
man.
saw where
Be
Martin
honest.
took.
Let's
We
be
saw
honest.
where Martin took it. But now we get. We
at-
saw where Martin took it.
Where's the love?
Where's my
Look
where's
at
my
And Martin. We saw where.
Look at him. Emotion. Hey,
See.
where the hell you gonna take us, Malcolm? You said separate from the white man. You say separate from the white man.
Yelling with it. It's not emotional.
See, you keep forgetting we born on the same thing under the same sign.
Now you got to be talking.
You dance.
I
You
was quiet.
dancing
I
with
did.
somebody that can
I
dance.
just needed to be acknowledged that I was silent.
See, that shit worked on everybody else, and now he ran into the same kung fu style.
He's been doing great. He's been doing great, but it's like the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. He's not.
You know why?
He's used to the fight not going past 5 minutes. Okay, here, let's go. Let's go. Where the fuck is Malcolm taking us?
All right.
I give him
It's
his
not
credit.
about.
I'm waiting.
No, you've changed the whole topic.
No, I haven't.
That's a
No,
slip.
I haven't. Where is
do all the
Malcolm
time
X
as a
taking us?
vice. No, hold on, stop. That's a
Are
top.
you listening?
I take the top.
Martin kept it real. Martin
I
said,
take it to a whole
I ain't got no
other topic.
alternative.
I can't even get it in.
No, I'll be quiet.
He's a
All right,
great move.
listen. I use that move
Bring
often.
that fucking bomb. Let's go.
I find a topic that makes it more difficult to win.
I didn't want to
to
take
dance
the gloves
away.
off.
To dance away from the original topic that we were talking about. And what we were first talking about was between Malcolm and Malcolm. I mean Malcolm and Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm in the very beginning was correct. The problem with Malcolm, he had an incorrect, foul teacher that wasn't pure. That led him
Can I get a sheet of paper?
to a place. I need a little bit more respect. I didn't do none of this doing that long ass fucking shit about Martin.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay.
You know you.
He said, don't interrupt, because you know the trick in interrupting, which I'm a Pisces, which I do too. Don't fuck my thought up now.
That sounds like that. Sure.
Now listen.
Like this.
Listen. Yeah, we need, man, you are a motherfucking mind reader, but now I'm not.
The crowd.
I don't mean, no,
I'm not mixing.
Jameson. I
No,
need
bring
the
him
Jameson.
to Jam. Yeah.
Can we get some, and sorry, can we get a little ice and just any type of soda, anything?
What? Which one you be sitting on?
Okay, so my thing is this.
We're gonna address each one. Of these.
Okay, dude, if you
Each one of these
interrupt me
guys.
again, I want
I'm not-
everyone to witness how long I have been trying to say my point. Okay. Martin, at the end of his journey, said, I'm afraid we're walking into a burning building. Do you know what he meant by that?
Expound on
He
it.
understood that the government that we wanted to be a part of, their school system, their financial system, their banking system, the way they ran their businesses, he understood, oh, fuck, this shit ain't gonna last. You see what I'm saying? He knew at the end what Malcolm was saying in the beginning. Facts. Malcolm was saying in the very beginning, We do not need to cross over into their path. We need to do our own. We need to build for our own.
And that's what Martin was saying on the way out.
But Martin, at the end on the way out, he looked at the rest of his guys in his meeting and said, I know y'all CAA. He knew his death was coming. He knew he fucked up because he was going after the poor. He changed his fight to attacking economics.
Who you talking about? Malcolm X?
Martin at the end started speaking about economic empowerment.
Economics empowerment and stuff like that. That's what really destroyed him. And I think at the end, what Malcolm was doing was understanding where the power was coming, where the money was coming, how the bomb was coming from, how we're all one. He realized his mistake in being his teaching. He had been mistaught by his teacher. And it being mistaught by his teacher, but even in the misteaching of his teacher, they were right in the right. We didn't need to segregate. Segregation was one of the worst things ever happened.
And that was one of the topics I was trying to circle us back to.
I'm gonna let y'all go. Can I ask a question before? And
what I want you to end on,
I just want to make sure I'm hearing this.
Make sure
you said, we're gonna go back to this. You are saying that you just said that Malcolm was mistaught by his teacher, correct?
In many ways.
Yeah. In many ways. Okay.
So do you feel like, and wrap your rebuttal with, do you feel like segregation was the best move, or you think we should have did something different? Go. Wrap it up with that.
I don't think that's a black or white question. I think we probably will find an agreement that there could have
black people benefited from segregation. For a long time, I felt like segregation, I believe that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to black people. The fact that we sitting here right now, that we talking in this space and doing the shit that is because of desegregation. Yes.
Okay. Whatever rebuttal you want.
I mean, there's a wonderful thing about segregation. I have two beautiful kids. I'm married to a beautiful white woman. You know what I'm trying to say? I wasn't looking for a white woman when I got married to her. You know what I mean? I wouldn't think about a white woman.
Dude, I got white people in my family.
You know what I'm trying to say? I got white people in my family. Wasn't looking for that, but I found my love where I found my love. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that. I'm all for all of us come together. I feel like there's a way to be.
We're gonna have to. This gonna have to be a part two because
non-equal. I think there's a way to be equal.
Let me say this.
And separate. I think there's a way to be in a world where we could have done that, and I think that we had to do that because I think what we made a mistake was, in the end, is we didn't go the full war.
Malcolm
we allowed the Civil War.
Malcolm was not mistaught by his teacher.
Sure.
Because if Malcolm was mistaught by his teacher, then that would mean that Dr. Khalid Muhammad was mistaught by his teacher. That would mean that Minister Farrakhan was mistaught by his teacher.
And I would agree.
Do you feel like
they're not mistaught by their teacher?
They've been mistaught.
Let me tell you.
They've been taught to think that Elijah Muhammad was something other than another great thought-thinking person who used power to manipulate many situations.
You know that Malcolm fell out with his teacher over some pussy. Let's just go on get it. Let's just go. He fell out with him because
he was fucking 14-year-old girl.
Malcolm X,
15-year-old girl.
Malcolm X fell out with Elijah Muhammad over some fucking pussy. And I'll never forget. I never forget my father told me. He said, what got Malcolm X killed was he took his ass out there and ran his mouth to the white man about his teacher. Now, in the words of Minister Farrakhan, who the fuck cleaned Malcolm up? Who cleaned Malcolm up? Let me flip it. Let me flip it. If I'm walking around and crawling around like a dog, and you're not a perfect man, you can be with any woman that you want to be. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. But you hit me to game and you changed my whole life. I was walking around here. I didn't know how to write songs. I was living like a dog and you cleaned my whole life up. And then I go out.
How old is your oldest child?
I go out. I don't have any children. I go out in the street.
Now let me 14-year-old fucking girl get fucked by a teacher you respected.
You know Malcolm cheated on this.
Period.
See, he don't know.
So you saying
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So you saying
it doesn't matter.
Just by you saying that, let's be known.
So Malcolm fucked 14-year-old girls too.
Malcolm cheated on his wife.
With 14-year-old nigga.
Malcolm cheated on his wife. Let me tell you,
how many men have it? That's a whole other.
I could upset a whole bunch of niggas right now. Let me just go on and say it. Malcolm X cheated on his wife. Turn around, and Elijah Muhammad and the brothers in the nation didn't say shit about it to anybody. He goes,
no man in this wood.
He goes,
no man in this wood.
He goes and snitches on Elijah Muhammad for doing the same damn thing that he did. And and when I tell you, Malcolm X fell out with Elijah over some pussy, and you do know Malcolm fell out with Elijah. Malcolm fell out with Elijah because Elijah, there was a woman. There was a woman that Malcolm X, there was a woman that Malcolm X was in love with, and then he found out that Elijah Muhammad had a baby by, and that's why he fucking told him.
This is my question. So,
babies by several of them.
He said, man, that shit that happened to Malcolm, that's the fuck he gets.
That's the problem. That's the problem with
I respect
that. With too many daddies talking to these sons.
Do you feel like
bullshit ass stories?
I'm gonna say it. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it myself. I'm gonna say it for the camera.
So you believe
Malcolm X was brilliant. Martin Luther King was brilliant. But let's keep it real. If Malcolm X was your homie and he did that shit to you, that he
I'm not fucking a 14-year-old girl.
That's the question. That's the only question I need to ask.
Let's just keep it a fuck.
You know what? The truth is already out. We live in an elimination age.
Jay, I need the scale, bro.
If you ask, why the fuck is Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Mr. Farrakhan, and you ask any other Wesley, you ask any of them in the nation, they will all say the same thing. Malcolm was brilliant,
bro.
He was a buster, though.
Hold on, let me. A man cheating on his wife,
no, what they
and
were
a
saying,
pedophile is a whole. Like,
exactly.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying
let's
that's two totally different things.
During those times.
Two totally different things.
Okay.
No, my grandparents got married when they were 16.
When they were 16. When they were 16. Not when a 50-year-old is fucking a 14-year-old. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I mean,
fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Okay.
No, he wasn't even 50. No. He wasn't even 50. He was 160-something years old. He's been living since the 1800s.
Do you know for a fact that Malcolm X didn't sleep with a 15-year-old?
I don't know if for a fact that you, I don't know for a fact that you, see, that's that Donald Trump. That's that Donald Trump shit with me. That's that Donald Trump shit.
He used to deal with niggas. He used to deal with niggas that tap out.
No, hold on. Stop looking at anyone out the room. You know what? I'm sitting right here. Look at me.
Memphis. Let me take my shit off. I just got warmed up. I'm finna school this nigga.
How does that prove the point?
Because I got you from the beginning. I got you from the beginning because
you defend always when you prove you're wrong.
I got you from the beginning.
The louder you talk,
quiet it down.
And the older you talk, and how you will not let anyone else speak.
You're talking about you defending a man and you don't know his track record.
I can't say shit.
You don't know his track record more than I'm gonna tell you where you lost it. You said his teacher failed him. Now, if that was true, and I know you don't really fucking believe that, because if you really believe that, you wouldn't subscribe to anything.
You know why? You know why?
Okay, so
I don't subscribe to
that area.
I don't subscribe to anything. I don't believe in any man having a teacher. Any teacher. I
didn't finish my statement.
What I was going to say. You've made many statements. No. You've made many statements.
Do you love Pop? Do you love Pop? I know that's one of your favorite artists. I know that's one of your favorite artists.
I love a lot of his music.
No, you don't love a lot of his music. You love Pop. You love Tupac.
I'm 42. I don't
love
Tupac anymore.
Yeah, you do.
I don't love Pop anymore.
When I was a 20-year-old, I loved Tupac.
Stop
at 42,
you're not
any man that feels the same way at 42 he feels at 20 has wasted 22 fucking years of his life.
You love Tupac as an artist. You respect Tupac as an artist.
I respect him as what he was at the time.
You respect Tupac as an artist because what Tupac was
I'm not going to just
at
let
the time,
you keep bullying this
he died. So he's
look. You ain't said shit.
I have
you have
shit.
Nothing but over-talk me the whole
you're trying to make it seem like Malcolm
and you look everywhere else for agreement.
You're trying to make it seem like
all over the world for agreement.
He's trying to make it seem like Malcolm X did a disservice.
No, I didn't.
You're trying to make it seem like Malcolm X did a disservice.
Malcolm X was doing. I'm talking about
his teacher did a disservice to him.
Yeah, you're trying to make it seem like his service.
That white people were devils.
Dude, everything that he is because of teacher. Dude, all the shit that you respect
Everything,
about him, he
no.
learned it from Elijah Muhammad.
Do you feel like?
God damn.
Okay.
Everybody knows
Check
that.
this out.
This is
Okay,
now, can you be quiet for a
I
second?
gotta say my voice.
Can you
have to do something.
all you have literally done is talk. So can you be quiet for a moment? Is that possible? Can I say something?
This dude trying to.
Can I say
trying to
no,
make us
no,
respect
can't
the
say
guy
nothing.
that
I can't say
learned
nothing.
every fucking thing
I can't
that
say
he
nothing.
learned
I can't
from the
say
man that you trying to
I can't
diss.
say nothing.
So check this out.
I
Let me
can't
ask you
say
something.
nothing.
Let me.
That's what be tripping me
Let
out.
me
You ain't
let me
tripping
swing
me
this
out.
something. Let me-
I guarantee
You're
you.
just like
I
a
guarantee
Christian
you,
and a
if the
Trump
nation of
supporter.
Islam was
You are
in here,
just like a Trump and a Trump supporter.
No,
You are
listen.
just like a Trump supporter.
I'm not
You
just like a-
refuse.
No.
You refuse to
That's
hear
bullshit.
anything that
That's
you don't
bullshit.
want to hear.
Dude.
You won't even be quiet.
No,
You won't even be quiet and let me say nothing.
You're
I have to
dissing.
speak over
No,
you. I'm
let
not
me
gonna
tell you.
speak over
Let me tell you why I'm cutting you off and why.
Because you're disrespectful.
What you're
and
saying-
ignorant.
No, what
to
you're
the
saying is
point
full of shit.
I'm trying to
No,
make
what
to
you're
you.
saying is full of
You're
shit.
extremely ignorant.
You're trying to give
to the
credit.
point
You're
I'm trying to
give.
make to
You're
you.
trying to give credit
Extremely
to one
ignorant.
black man while discrediting another.
Let me-
No, I'm not.
let me-
No, I'm not.
let me
You
possibly-
you talk too much. And
That's
you
bullshit. I don't talk too
You're
much. I'm cutting you off.
disrespecting. You're
No,
disrespecting my
Malcolm
point.
X and Elijah Muhammad.
Don't
would be proud
ever
of me
tell
for saying
me.
that.
Don't
You
ever
cannot
tell me.
discredit.
Don't ever
You
tell
cannot
me.
discredit
Give him-
Malcolm X.
give him-
Don't
Okay.
ever tell
You
me
cannot
I'm
discredit
disrespecting
Elijah
another
Muhammad
black man.
and give credit
If
to
you
Malcolm
can't
X.
listen, if you can't listen,
I'm gonna tell you why I shut you down right now. If Malcolm X was alive right now, he'd tell you, dude, you tripping. I fucked up. He know he fucked up. And you talk to anybody in the Nation of Islam, and I'm not talking out of my fucking
You
personal
said
thoughts.
that.
I got people in my family in the Nation, and they'll tell you, if you talk to fucking Malcolm X before he died, he knew he fucked up.
talking to basically, I got people
That's a
in the
fact.
fucking Catholic Church.
You
He
said
fucked up.
you said that with Isaac. He
I
said
know
that with
people in
so
the
much
motherfucking
conviction.
Southern Baptist Church. I know people in coaching.
Malcolm X.
What the fuck does that mean, nigga?
Malcolm know he fucked up. Malcolm fucked up.
Mean?
That's on record. He
Okay,
said
can you
it.
be quiet for a
Your
second?
voice-
If I could
voice.
take
Can
anything
you be
back,
quiet for a second?
what I said about Elijah
This isn't
Muhammad,
a
I do not
podcast.
to say that.
This is a podcast.
Don't you ever try to
James,
fucking discredit
this is a
the minister in order to give credit to Malcolm. Every fucking thing he ever learned, he learned from
Suck
Elijah
his
Muhammad.
dick all you want,
Man,
my
that got me
Suck
fucked up.
his
Let me ask
dick
you
all
You got me
want.
fucked up.
Don't ever
Don't play
put
with my
your finger in my
manhood.
mouth.
Don't play with my
Don't put your
manhood.
motherfucking finger
Don't
in
play
my
with my
mouth.
manhood,
Are you
nigga.
out of here? No.
Don't you ever tell me to suck on. Hold on. Let me. No,
Get the fuck out of here.
no. Let's not get it fucked up. I got a brother and a cousin here. Free.
No,
We
no,
can
no.
go. Don't
Any
ever
fucking time,
fucking
bro.
play with me.
Don't you
Nigga,
fuck you
my
talking
brother
just you
knocked
make us
your
spend my
fucking
whole
head off.
time, man. Yo, brother.
My brother knocked
What about
your
you?
fucking
What
head
about
off.
you?
Step outside.
What about you?
Step outside.
What
nigga.
about you?
Step outside.
What's going on, bro?
I dare you fucking say that.
What about you, man?
Okay.
What's going on here?
So,
bro?
I
this
just
ain't
know-
the set. This ain't the set.
Selling games.
Don't come to me to ask anyone.
I'm just
Ask
saying.
anyone. Ask anyone.
I'm talking to Isaac.
You ask them
I'm
here.
talking to Isaac.
You ask them here. Isaac,
Yeah, we can wrap this shit up.
Isaac, ask anyone here.
It's one of them nice week. Yeah.
This
So
is our
thank y'all.
podcast. We wrapping this up.
Yeah,
That's all
thank
I'm saying.
y'all for being here and tuning in. It's been one of them nice, explosive, great energy.
It's still our
Make sure
love. It's still
tune
our
in.
brothers.
Yeah. I'm glad you back in.
We still our love. It's
So
still our
Ice
brothers.
Eskimos, selling game to players.
Hold on.
Go hard or go home.
All right.
Woo.